Hello, and welcome to our art exhibition video. We're so excited about art at Meadowdale and we want to share the brilliant things that are happening with you.
At Meadowdale, we're interested in a broad curriculum. Obviously, we understand the great importance of maths and English, particularly so that children can do well at secondary school and then go on to do whatever career they choose to do. But maths and English isn't everything. Our children perform really well at it, but we're determined, and we've always been determined, that they'll perform well in all the other subjects as well. So over the next few years, and we've already started in the last couple of years, we're going to be looking at all the other subjects and ensuring that the curriculum is one that is truly excellent. And we started with art, and now we're really proud of all the outcomes that the children are producing. So that's what the art exhibition is all about, sharing that with you. I'd just like to say thank you to our art leader, Miss Edwards, who's done an amazing job of revamping the art curriculum. And all of the teachers as well have worked incredibly hard at planning the art curriculum, and they've all worked really hard at upskilling themselves and making themselves better artists so they can pass on those skills to the kids. And then the whole staff have been involved in the delivery of the curriculum and the displaying of it and all the other stuff that goes on to make sure that art is as brilliant as it can be. Please enjoy all the work. Thank you.
We've been looking at Wesley Kandinsky, and we have been painting circles, and we've been looking at primary colours and secondary colours, and we used blue, orange and red, and I used purple, green and orange. So Henry did a circle of primary colours and secondary colours, but what I did is I just did a whole circle of secondary colours.
So which are the primary colours?
Red, yellow and blue. Yeah, red, yellow and blue.
Brilliant. And what are secondary colours?
Orange, green and purple. So I used red and blue to make my purple, and blue and yellow. Oh yeah. I used blue and yellow to make green, and for the orange I used red and yellow to make the orange.
Been doing a sunflower painting that and copying what Van Gogh did.
So we did darkest to lightest to making orange.
We mixed red and yellow, and every time we kept on putting more red in to make the orange darker. We got some brown paint with some like washing powder and sand. And we painted it for the bit in the middle because the bit in the middle is meant to be bumpy. And then we stuck them on to this yellow piece of paper that we've painted. And then we painted the stem on it. We enjoyed mixing the colours up.
I liked putting all of the colours in the right order.
On the picture we just used different shapes and then just drew around them to make something, and then we just painted inside it to make it look colourful.
So we were doing like landscapes. There was like sea, a jungle, ice, like forest, Iceland, like the top or the bottom of the earth, and desert. I did the desert because it's hot. We did like different techniques. We did crumbling. We did we were putting stuff on top of each other. We started off with the very top one, like this one right now, and we kept going down and down and down and down and down to make something like this. Yeah, we did different materials. My favourite material was like the see-through paper. Collage means like sticking, gluing, and like other stuff. Like this is a collage. We also did some like shading in on pictures, and we also did some Mondrian painting where we used red, yellow, white and blue. I quite enjoyed the collages because we also did them. Right now we're doing clay in art. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And is that fun?
Yeah. I enjoy like lots of stuff. I enjoy like the house and the collage. Art is my favourite.
Yeah, art's my favourite lesson. I'm always looking forward to art in the week.
This has only been done last Friday, and it's like all mark making with crayons, and it was really fun, and we got like really crayon-y fingers because it got really like, it was like we was also decorating ourselves.
And we did mark makings and texture. So this is a wood texture, and this is a brick texture.
We were doing Georgia O'Keeffe flowers. We started not learning anything about them, and we just went crazy and did a flower. And then we started learning different techniques of blending different kinds of colours, doing really quick white strokes with the paintbrush to create a really nice texture. And we were just having fun and doing different kinds of flowers, and it was really fun to do. We're going to do some Market Harbour famous building. Not famous, I'd say, because Market Harbour is not a famous place, but some really famous to people that live in Market Harbour, like the church.
Yeah, like the church and the old grammar school. Yeah, we're going to start drawing those with pastels, and we're going to use all the techniques.
We've done the outline of the pencil, and what we're going to do is we're going to photocopy that, and we're going to write all the textures that we're going to use for the building. The next week after, we're going to get our original pencil drawing, and we're going to just do all the textures with the pastel, like blending, feathering, using all those techniques.
Also, we learned about the tertiary colours, the secondary colours, and the primary colours and how they can be mixed up.
They
And
do turn out really
it
nice.
makes beautiful colours.
Like
Amber.
like
amber. One of the other lessons we did was tinting and shading.
Oh yeah,
that
love
was
that.
so fun.
That was so.
So we did walls using collage and things.
So we did collage and Zentangle. And basically what you had to do is do a bunch of Zentangle, and then we got wax crayons and we painted it over all the white gaps, and then we teared it into pieces, and then we stuck it onto paper, and then we had to cut around the paper.
Yeah, we also had eyes that we made earlier. We had to draw wolf eyes and nose and ears and things like that. And then we had to cut them out with little wavy lines so they looked like they had fur. And then we stuck them on the paper as well.
Been learning about Picasso. The first word Picasso said was pencil. He was a better artist when he was 14 than his dad, I think, anyway.
He went through 2 stages.
The blue period and the red period. Yeah,
Doing one-lined.
I did a lot of one-line sausage dog
Yeah, and one-line dolphins and things like
and
that.
birds and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we also did, we had a piece of paper with half of a wolf printed on it, and we had to, there's a mirror line, we had to draw the rest of the picture.
Yeah, that was very interesting too.
Symmetrical to the side, that was cool.
When we did the art Tash Impressionism, it was really fun because you could kind of use the colours more in vibrant ways, and you could blend them easily, and it was just easier to use and quite nice.
Yes, so we in art, it was linked to our history lesson, but we were doing roses. And on this particular rose, we did printing. So we pressed down on a polystyrene tile with a pencil to form the arch shape of a rose, and then we rolled over it in thick paint, and then pressed it down onto a piece of paper, and then lifted it off, and that your print was on the paper. We also did this art, but it was where you had rope, and you painted over with it thick black paint, and then you pressed it on a piece of paper, and it would give the design of the rose that you did on, but also give it texture because of the rope.
Yeah, that was really fun.
And we did another one where we created a stencil of a rose, and then dabbed paint on with a sponge, and it went through on the paper, so you had a stencil of a rose.
So these were from when we were doing Aztec masks. And we made one, and we did all the mosaics and details on them.
We used tiny pieces of cut out paper, and we glued all over the area where we wanted the mosaic, and then we stuck them down in a nice pattern, and it looks really good. Here we used chalk and chalk pastels, and we used them to create a nice scene. Well, what we did recently we did some designs for flowers that what we've done is we've made a massive canvas, and we've spray painted all of our flowers designs onto a canvas. We've cut it out onto a piece of plastic,
and we spray painted it, and they're doing that over there right now. And it's for Banksy, and Banksy is like a famous graffiti artist, and no one knows who he is. And it's going to be a tank spitting out flowers, which is inspired by one of his pieces of art. And these are some of the original designs that I came up with. So these are both from our Galapagos topic, but this one was a finch. We could pick out 4 to draw, and we made little grids to know the placement, and we had pictures, and because we were studying Charles Darwin and his theory of evolution. And then this one is where we did either some more birds or a turtle or a tortoise. And landscapes and stuff. Yeah, and landscapes. I chose a turtle, and that was also on the same one but on a different day. We also did the same grid but bigger, and that's mostly it, but it was really fun. We did shading, quite a lot of it, and with some of them we did some stippling, which is lots of dots, and cross hatching, which is where you go sort of like checkers, lines, which is sort of like that, but like without the other lines on it. And I've got, I think, 2 techniques on there, shading and a bit of cross hatching. But that's it for me.
We started this off very early in the year. One of my first art projects is where we design a Greek vase, because we were learning about ancient Greece at that time. So we design a Greek vase. We draw it on card like this. We put crayons on it, like wax crayons and stuff like that. Then we paint over it in black, because in ancient Greece they used to have Greek vases which were basically, they had all sorts of colours, but they also had lots of black on it as well. So we get to do our designs on it, but I went for a kind of underworld type theme. And then I've done a bit of the overworld and things like that. We had to use little like toothpick kind of things to scrape off all the black paint on it.
You kept on breaking as well.
They did keep on breaking.
And what I've enjoyed specifically is when we did our self-portraits. When we did loads of shading, and we were had videos on the screen on how to draw an eye and a nose and lips and like a mouth, or the same thing. But the eye was so strange because you would never have thought that it was like, you would have
so many steps
to
it.
Yeah, you never would have thought it was drawn that way. But everyone's turned out like unbelievably good, and we were all so happy with ourselves. Yeah. So we did at the beginning of the year, we took pictures of ourselves, of our faces, and then they would cut half of it off, and then we would have to draw the other side. We didn't exactly know what we were doing, but now, since I can see my full self-portrait against the one that I've drawn, like half of it, I think it looks so much better, even though it's a lot harder to do the self-portrait instead of the half-portrait. So I thought, I'm really happy, and they're actually really good at teaching us art.
We are currently learning about South America, so we're doing rainforest drawings and stuff like that, so that's fun. But we're doing overlapping at the minute, like we'll draw a background, then we'll draw some leaves, then we'll draw some more leaves which overlap that leaf, so it's just lots of overlapping, piling and piling. But my favourite part of art would probably be, well, yeah, like Taya's, shading and stuff like that, because it's really fun. It's like, I enjoy learning new ways of doing art, because when I originally did art, I always thought it was like harder, like much harder. But now when you start doing it, it's still hard, but it's easier. Like,
it's, you know, the techniques.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, we've had like the most art in this year so far. It's been really, really good, and that's one of my favourite subjects. And it's been
Art's
really fun, and I think I've improved a lot on my art as well.